Okay, everyone, welcome to this very short video that I'm calling Is It Greek or Not? And this is the first one of these that I'm doing. If you want to have a little fun, grab somebody you know who speaks Greek and see how good they really are. See what they know about Greek and about where words come from. Now, as many of us know, thousands and thousands of words come from Greek. So we all know that we're not out to change anything, but it's interesting to find out where some of the words that we think we know actually come from. So I'm going to present a word, and if you need time to think, you can pause it and see if you can figure out if the word you're going to see is Greek or not. Here's the first one. Blame. Like, don't blame me if you can't find your keys. You ready? The word blame is Greek. It comes from the word blasphemo, which means I condemn. It could also be I say profane things. Um, I criticize. The Romans took it and they made blasphemare, okay, which also means to blame. And you can see they kept the PH. That was a sign that the word that they were using originally came from Greek. Became blasphème in French, and it eventually came to English as blame. And of course, this is the same word that's behind the word blasphemy. Okay, here's your next word. Pizza. Is it Greek or not Greek? It is true, my friends. Pizza is a Greek word. The ancient Greeks used to eat a kind of pie or cake called pita. And look at how it's spelled. It's got a double daf in it. The double. Some of you who are learning Greek in college might call this a double tau. A double daf. It's two T's. And there's this interesting thing that happens in Greek words that have these double daf. What you'll see is that the uh, second one will turn into a sigma. So the t becomes ts. And eventually what happens is that both of the taf will eventually become a double sigma. And this is probably most often seen in the ancient Greek word thalata, which in modern Greek is thalassa. The same thing happens in the word pita. It's a word that has the double taf, and it moves on to become pizza. The second taf becomes a sigma. Now, we never did in Greek get pisa, but if you talk to somebody who knows anything about speech and knows about the development of sounds, S is very closely related to Z. So a double S isn't really all that different from a double Z. And there's your pizza. Now in modern Greek, uh, what has happened is the second taf is gone. And you've seen words like spanakopita and tiropita and things like that. So the spelling has changed to a single t. But what about the food pizza? Well, we know that the ancient Greeks ate this before the Italians did. Now it was very different. There were no tomatoes in Europe at the time, so a Greek pita, which actually went by a different name also, would not have had that delicious red tomato sauce that I love so much. All right, we'll do something different for the third word. Here's one of the first ones that any Greek student learns, spiti, which is the word for house. So, is it Greek or not? Spiti is not originally a Greek word, although it's very commonly used today. It's the most common word for house. Spiti comes from an older Greek word, ospition, which comes from, are you ready? A Latin word, hospitium, which comes from another Latin word, hospes, which means guest or visitor. And a hospitium is a place where you have guests. Maybe it could also mean a place of comfort. And we get words like hospital and hospice and hotel and even hostel. So, what is the Greek word, the original Greek word for house? IKEA or Ikos. And that's why the French company Denon makes their Greek yogurt under the name Ikos. I guess because they want us to think that it's so good it's like homemade, which it is not. We do get the word ecos, by the way, in lots of English words like in economy, economia, and ecology, things that pertain to our home. Okay, let's move on. How's your Greek expert doing so far? Do they have all three of these correct? Okay, here's the next one. Ascenseur. Ascenseur is the word for elevator. It's very commonly used. Is it Greek or not? It is not a Greek word. This comes from the word ascenseur, which is French. Does that mean that Greeks do not have a word in their language for elevator? Of course not. They do have a word. Anelkistiras. An means up or upward. Elk means pull. And stiras is one who does, the one who pulls up. And if you think about it, what else do we call an elevator in English? A lift. The idea is that something is being moved upward. I imagine your Greek friend is probably very nervous right now. They probably don't look too good, having gotten some of these wrong, or maybe they've gotten them all correct. Here's one more. And this time, I'm going to present it in English and in Greek. Secure, siguros. Siguros means secure or certain. Is this a Greek word? Okay, here it comes. It is not Greek. We do have the word siguro, which comes from an older version in Greek, seguros, which comes from seguro, which probably is from Italy. Probably the Venetians brought it to Greece, and they got that from their ancestors, the Romans, who had securo, which means safe, certain, secure. Well, I'll be doing more of these. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you learned something from them, and I hope you had fun. Telos!